Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So in this video I actually filmed this one quite quickly. Unfortunately I've had to take my camera in for repair, so I borrowed my friend's camera. I didn't have a lot of time to make this video in. And I did want to point out that this information that I'm going to be sharing, this isn't information I've directly channeled from the machine elves. Although it is heavily linked to my last video I was talking about where I interpreted a vision I received from the machine elves as to explain how the law of attraction works. This video is more or less just me kind of furthering on my interpretation of it. But let me know what you guys think of the video anyway in the comments, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed anyway. Real quickly, I thought I'd mention the fact that I have also got a merch site which sells some shirt designs like machine elf shirts, psychedelic pug shirts, cool ass jester shirt, different shit there. Check that out if you like. In this video, I wanted to talk about more how the law of attraction can be applied in our life. And I think this is important because there is a lot of misinformation on the law of attraction, or based around the law of attraction. And I think the law of attraction itself kind of lends us to misinterpret how it works and what it is. I don't think law of attraction is the most accurate word for it. I think a more accurate word would be law of reflection. I say this because I think a lot of us are really heavily engrossed with our senses and our experience of the reality. We've kind of taken it really objectively. And don't get me wrong, it's possible that our physical senses represent something that is out there, that is beyond us. It might be the case that we're a brain in a tank somewhere. But even if our senses are representing something that's beyond us, I think our interpretation of it's too literal. We think to ourselves that if I feel rich in my mind and I feel content in my mind, then I throw out this frequency, and then the outside universe hears that, and it just showers me with money. It just showers me with the things that kind of are related to how I feel. But I think that our external reality is, in the most literal sense, a reflection of us. We don't know the extent to which we hallucinate our outside world, even if it is representing something that's beyond us. We are tied with our outside world in such an unbelievable way. The way I'd relate it to is kind of like the story of Plato's cave. He kind of came up with a scenario where he wanted us to imagine there were these prisoners in a cave who were facing a wall, and they'd been in this cave for their entire life, and there was a fire behind them. And then when people walked past the fire, it cast a shadow onto the wall, and the prisoners, because they've never seen anything other than the shadows, have started assuming that the shadows are real. And then when they see the real reality, what's casting the shadows, they just can't process it. They can't make sense of it. Now, I think it's similar to that. If you imagine that the fire is just casting the prisoner's shadow onto the wall, and the prisoners are seeing their own shadow, and so everything they do and all the actions they take moves the shadow, but because the shadow is separate from them, they've interpreted the shadow to be a separate thing, and they don't realize that what they do affects the shadow in front of them. Let's say a prisoner accidentally hits himself in the head, and he sees the shadow do this movement where it puts its hand onto its head. The prisoner makes the assumption, well, whenever the shadow puts its hand onto its head, my head hurts. It's like, no, you hit your head and the shadow was a reflection of you. That's why your head hurts. You did it to yourself. This is what's happening in the external world. We are feeling certain ways, and then our external reality represents that to us or reflects that to us. But we're assuming we're feeling these ways because this outside world is giving us these things. For me, I relate to this personally through both dreaming and some of my trips. In some of my trips, my more intense trips, I've had experiences like what I want to talk about, or I want to make a video on an experience I call becoming the chosen one, or becoming a chosen one, because a lot of people have experienced this, where all of a sudden you feel like everyone around you is filming you, and that like your whole life you've been like the center of reality, and everyone around you has been watching you. I remember when I started to experience this, I started really have this kind of revelation that this was what was going on. I could see helicopters from above beaming their lights down onto me, and everyone around me was just like gathered and watching, and they were all doing these things to prove to me that they were literally in on this big joke where I was the center of the universe and they were just actors or filmmakers. And look, I don't know if I'm literally being filmed. I doubt it, and it's actually surprisingly hard for me to say that. But I think I think what's going on is that my mind started feeling like, for whatever reason, I am the chosen one. Like, it was just this experience of like, I am the chosen one. And I know how kind of like douchey that sounds even maybe, but it is a common experience, and it really is just apparently like a lot of acid can make you feel this way. And as I was feeling this, you know, the outside world was reflecting that. Because I was feeling like I'm the chosen one, all of a sudden my outside world was filming me and had helicopters surrounding me. My external sensory experience was representing what was going on in my mind. So I think this is where the issue comes in with the law of attraction, is we don't acknowledge this aspect. Because a lot of us were born with, I don't know if we were born with, or if, I don't think we were born with it, although maybe we were, according to what I'm saying. Basically, somewhere along the line, I think we go through a trauma. And this trauma sabotages what we thought reality was. And it teaches us to be more invested in reality as to avoid the trauma happening again, to take reality more seriously. And it casts doubt over our expectations of reality because, you know, it's the first time we're severely proven that we were wrong about something. And of course, it casts fear into our mind because now we're afraid of what we don't know and what we can't predict. This stays in your mind, at the back of your mind, until it's dealt with. And this is the issue. This is part of your mind. When you manifest your external reality, this is in there. But we learn about this law of attraction or this law of reflection. And so all of a sudden we start creating these things like vision boards. And we put on this vision board a $20 million house. And we just kind of sit there and we're like, yep, let me start manifesting. And you start focusing on it, and then you just kind of sit down on the couch, start eating some potato chips and watch TV all day. And you wake up the next day and you're like, $20 million house, it's coming. And you're just kind of expecting to win the lotto. And that never happens. Or for very few of us it does. And eventually you're like, what's wrong? I guess the law of attraction doesn't work, or some crap like that. The reason why the law of attraction doesn't work for these people is because the doubt is still in their mind. That's why they don't, even though they're using this vision board, they don't immediately go after what they put on their vision board. They don't immediately get to work or something like that. They usually then just go for a walk around the park or sit and watch TV or something and just kind of like look at the vision board like, cool, I'll have that soon. But I don't think they really do believe they're going to have it soon. Otherwise, they'd go for what they want or what they put on the vision board immediately. They take action straight away because they know that, let's say they've put becoming a famous actor on the vision board. They know that the sooner they start auditioning for acting roles, they're going to get closer and eventually get that thing that they've just put on their vision board because they know they're going to have it. So the faster they take action, the faster they're going to have it. Whereas a lot of these people using vision boards don't take action in the first place because I don't think they really do believe that they can have the thing that's on their vision board. And that's because what's leading to this inactivity is this doubt in the back of their mind that was born from this trauma probably when they were a kid. I'm guessing. But the doubt is definitely there. The way you overcome doubt, and the most important aspect of the law of attraction / law of manifestation or reflection, is action. Action is what slays doubt because it's what brings it to the surface. This is one of the main reasons why people don't take action, because they believe what they're consciously experiencing is attracting and drawing things in the outside world. So when they're given an opportunity that's meaningful to them, that could take them one step closer to having what they want, they avoid it because when they start getting near that opportunity, all of a sudden this nervousness comes up and this fear. But they don't realize that this nervousness and fear is the voice of doubt. It's not an indicator that they're going down the wrong path. This fear and this nervousness is the voice of doubt. And when you ignore this fear and this nervousness and you still pursue this opportunity, what you're doing is you're overcoming your doubt. This is the best way for law of attraction to work in your life, is to act. Just because you're working hard for a period of 4 years stressed out of your brain doesn't mean you will be for the rest of your life. Doesn't mean that that's what you're going to continually manifest. It might just be a temporary state to pave a better future for yourself. It might just be that you're having to purge yourself of all these negative emotions in order to claim these things that are at the top of the mountain. But people don't want to do that. They just put something on their vision board that is at the top of the mountain, and they're expecting to go from here to here without ever having to do any shadow work, without having to do any processing of the negative emotions. Now, that said, law of attraction can also bite you in the ass in this way. Because it is not just a law of attraction, but a law of reflection, your own morality is extremely important to abide by in this world. Let's say you wanted to win an Oscar, and you knew in order to win this Oscar you had to like play this certain role, and you and your friend are both auditioning for this role. So you end up like putting some sleep pills in his drink or something like that, so he doesn't wake up for the audition and he doesn't get the role you do, and you win the Academy Award. You get everything you wanted, but all of a sudden there's this empty feeling when you're handed the trophy, and you're like, what is this feeling? This is emptiness, this is hopelessness, this is dissatisfaction at the fact that you just claimed what you wanted and it brought none of the joy that you expected. You feel even worse now because now you're doomed for never having this happiness that you're hoping to have. Whereas if you want it squarely and fairly, then you are met with joy when you receive this trophy because you know you deserve it. This is what I think is karma. If you're guilty about something, you will manifest something to punish you for that guilt. I don't know if it's like a universal system of karma or if it's just simply because we're taught positive and negative reinforcement as a kid. So if we do something wrong, we're just expecting to be punished, and if we do something right, we're expected to be rewarded, and that's kind of what we reflect into our reality. Maybe that and karma is one and the same thing. But either way, guys, I guess that's all I wanted to say. Just a brief one. Let me know what you guys think anyway. Have a great day, guys. Go after the things you want, because you wouldn't want them if you couldn't have them anyway. And yeah, I'll talk to you all soon. Peace.